And now for something fairly straightforward with a bunch of added stuff if you want to keep on watching. But the first minute or so should be enough to get done what needs to be done. And what we want to do is make our destination fence to look like it's animated. So let's look up impound and impound fence. So the impound fence is around the impound lot, keeping our spaceship from being accessible until we collect enough fuel canisters. So we want to make this seem like it is a force field. So when we play it right now, it's just static. We can zoom in on it, by the way. It looks like a fence, but it's not really a force field. It's not animated. We want to animate it. And by the way, this is a reason why you want to keep both scene and game showing, so you can see what's actually going on in the game, but you can stay focused on another part of it and actually move around in it while the game is being played. So we want to animate this, and it's a script that goes on it, and it's something to do with fence texture offset. There it is. So I'll move it on to the impound fence, and we're good to go. So we'll play it, and now this will look animated like a force field. So you can stop there if you don't want to go any further, but I'm going to show you a couple pretty interesting things that are going on here. First of all, how this texture is made. When you look at the texture itself, here's the impound fence, and you look at the texture that's on it, that's it. That's it. It's just that solid color. But because of a shader, and a shader is a way of managing how light bounces off of textures. I'll just pick another one here. Ooh, that one actually does the same sort of thing. But what we're going to do is go transparent and diffuse. And it makes it look like, I mean, a lot of it is transparent, but there's a transparent pattern across which actually makes it look like a fence. So that's pretty neat just to begin with, how that works. And then the script itself is very simple, but it's kind of neat the way that it works. What it's doing is it's taking the renderer material and offsetting it by an X and a Y value. So this is on the fence, and the fence has a renderer. So we look at this, and we look at it. It has a renderer, okay, and the renderer has a material. And the material is a combination of a texture and a shader. So there it is. So this can be offset. It can be, you know, placed at 0, 0, or it can be offset a little bit down. So if you keep on offsetting it to the right and down, then it's going to seem like it's constantly moving. And that's what's happening over here in here. And we can show this. What's the first way to show this? First way maybe would be to zero out one of the two. Like one of these is X and one of these is Y. And that's X and that's Y. But we can just prove that, because right now, every time it's not going to be offset to the right, it's only going to be offset down. So we save this, and we run it, and you'll see that these things move down. They're offset. The whole thing is offset down each frame. So we'll take it back, and we'll move it to both are being offset, so it offsets the same amount to the right as it does down. So I think you get the idea that this is moving diagonally because of that, to the right one and down. So there we go. We're moving by X and by Y. And the cool thing is that this offset changes every frame because it's based on the time. The time's going to be value in seconds. We can prove that with debug.log. And we're going to see what the time is. Time is colon, and then we're actually going to print out time.time, the value that's being used below. And we can see this, we save it and run it, and we'll see down here in the console that the time is seconds. Going up, obviously. And so yeah, so that means that the offset is going to be different each frame, and so it's got to keep on moving. And the scroll speed basically is to keep it from being too fast, because if we didn't have the modifier times scroll speed, you'll see that it's too fast. And it looks okay kind of, but that's not really what we want for the effect. So yeah, a fixed number of times per second. This is running. I don't need that anymore. This is running, and we'll take this back to the way that it was. And based on the time, which increases, so does the offset, both X and Y, so it has to keep on moving down to the right.